Welcome back, episode 124 of the Purple Rain podcast. We are back and we are better than ever. It is the
Yep.
Marcus Peters episode. Dare I say it is the Dominique Foxworth episode. Goodness gracious, Marcus
Talk to
Peters
him.
is miles ahead of him. Just get that out there right there. Oh boy. We are back and we have so much news to talk about, which feels really weird because we are in the late part of July and
Yeah.
there's actually like news. So we'll get into all of that. But first and foremost, you can find both of us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast. You can find this guy on Instagram and Twitter at Sutton Def. You can find me on Instagram at simplyas10.prod and on Twitter at simplyas10. And most importantly, like the video and subscribe if you're new.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like Alex said, man, welcome to episode 124 of the Purple Rain Podcast. We are back. It is mid-July. Listen, we say that it's mid-July. It's kind of the lull of the off-season, but in reality, there's only 21 days until the first Ravens preseason game. Ravens football is right around the corner. Yeah.
That's
21 days.
insane.
That's 3 weeks. That's exactly 3 weeks from today. This very moment, Alex, we will be witnessing Ravens football. Isn't that crazy?
I'm getting
We're
the goosebumps
close.
over here. I'm getting the goosebumps. Ooh.
We're getting there. We kick off the preseason against the Titans. Yeah, I looked it up yesterday.
Our good buddy, old pals.
Yeah,
Go
exactly.
Titans.
Exactly. We hope you guys are doing okay this lovely evening, morning, afternoon, whenever you may be listening, indulging in this episode of the Purple Rain Podcast. We appreciate you guys for pulling up. You know, we got to pull up the live Rain Gang chat. Everybody who is here first and foremost. Let me see. I'm gonna kick it off with this one. Simply as 10, giving a shout out to our friend Lisa. Says happy belated birthday to Lisa. Yes, we know her birthday just passed. Happy belated birthday to her. Don't know if she's in here yet. She's always in the episodes. She's definitely making her case for a Purple Rain Pioneer status. But yeah, happy birthday to her. Happy belated birthday. DLC is in the house. Let's see. Balti Raven is in the house as well. So smash that like button. Let's see. My guy. I see K-Dog. K-Dog is in the house as well. Says, yo, what's good, Rain Gang family on this Friday Eve? Always pulling up, man. Always pulling up. What's going on, K-Dog? Appreciate you. The true Purple Rain pioneer since day zero. Day zero, literally. Let's see. Yolanda's in the house. Says, good evening, Rain Gang. This episode should be fire, as always. Hashtag Pay LJ. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that, Yolanda. Listen, we're gonna talk about that. Me and Alex, we got some feelings about it. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you guys stay locked into this episode of the show because yeah, it's gonna be one of them ones. Just to say that.
Yeah.
Tanja Bowman is in the house. Says, hey, Sutton, Alex, what's up? And of course, the flock. Everyone is saying Lamar arrived early, but Ravens' final drive said QBs who were supposed to show up today. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
A thing?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. Thanks for the information, Tanja.
Yeah,
Taquan Christian is in the house. Says, what's up, Rain Gang, Alex and Sutton? What's going on, Taquan? Appreciate you for pulling up per usual. Daquan in the house. What's going on, Daquan? I see Cal. My friend Cal says, what's up, gang? Hope everyone's Thursday is going well. Hope your Thursday is going well, Cal. Hope to see you soon, Cal. Cal's my good friend. Let's see. One Session 27 says, what's up, Rain Gang family? I hope everyone's day is going well. What's going on, One Session? My guy. Jabari Cruz Ellis in the house says, what's up, Purple Rain Gang? The April 123 was good, PRP crew. We got Gerald
G Money
in the house here early. He came in at the tail end of last episode. Yeah, I remember that.
Tail end.
Yeah, so big shout out to Gerald. Thank you so much for coming through. Yeah, glad you're here. Let's see. Brandon's in the house as well. Says, what's good, Rain Gang? What's going on, Brandon? Appreciate you for pulling up. I see. Wait. Is that my guy? The Don. My guys, Alex and Sutton. What's up, PRP? What's going on, Don C? Appreciate you. Jonathan Washington Jr. says, what's up, Rain Gang? That's my guy as well, Jonathan Washington. Can't forget about him. Black Daniels in the house. Listen, guys. Y'all know we show love here to everybody in the live chat. So if you're part of the hashtag replay gang, we love you guys so much. We thank you guys. But try just, at some point, try to catch us live. Try to catch us live. It hits different.
It does.
You know what I mean? Exactly. But we love the replay gang. We appreciate the replay gang. Make sure you guys like the video. Leave your comments down below with all your thoughts from this episode. But Black Daniels, my guy, is in the house. Says, peace and blessings, my dear Rain gang. Alex and Sutton, greetings, my brother. Greetings. Boz in the house, Mod Boz. Yo, Rain Gang, what's going on? Boz, you know what? Let's stop here. Let's preface
Uh-oh.
the podcast with this. Alex, I'm gonna pass it off to you. I know there were some things going on at the bank most recently that you and Boz were a part of, and I want to hear all about it.
Oh my goodness. So we were at the bank last Saturday, right?
Yeah.
That bitch was jumping. All right.
Woo!
For a soccer game, all right, between Arsenal, who they're a pretty big club, and Everton, who was a small club. 40,000 people were in attendance, which I think that's pretty damn good. The top sections, part of it was roped off, so there was no tickets sold there. But I'm just, Baltimore is a sports town. The Bang, I'm just gonna say this too. They had a nice moment of silence for Jalen Ferguson and Tony Siragusa before the game.
Yeah, I did see that.
That was really nice. Justin Tucker was there. Josh Norman was there. That was pretty weird to see. Actually, very weird to see. But what a game. Arsenal won 2-0. I'm surprised I have a voice. A lot of profanities were thrown from me. I'll admit it.
Yeah.
But I'm also looking forward to being back there in, I believe, 9 days for the Ravens open training camp practice at the bank.
Ooh,
so we'll be back there. It was so much fun being back at the bank. But yeah, what a time. Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Love that. And I saw, you were meeting players, you're getting autographs, you're getting pictures, you're getting all that.
Yeah.
Alex, you guys may not be tapped in. Some of you guys are. I know some of you guys are tapped in with Alex his Instagram, but this guy, he's low key kind of plugged in. I'm just gonna put that out there. No, you are. Let's talk about it, right?
If I was plugged in, I would have gotten more at the game, but we did get put on one of the players. Boz over here has think of the most random player on the Ravens, all right? Like the most random player.
Right.
Imagine you get a jersey by them. That's what Boz did, and Boz was posted on his Instagram. So big shout out to Boz for that. Yeah, it was the craziest thing that happened. Love that.
Shout out Boz, man. Shout out my guy Boz. Let's see. We got our guy King in the house. What's going on, bro? He says, yo, what's popping? Let's see. Who else is in here? I see Dylan. Dylan in the house as well. Says, what's up, boys? I see my guy Dylan. Just got a new car recently. Shout out to Dylan. Congratulations. Yes, sir.
Big
shout out to him. For sure. All right. Okay. Listen, guys, we got to go ahead and get into what we came here for in this episode of the Purple Rain Podcast, episode 124. Again, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. Got about 50 people watching live right now. Thank you guys so much for pulling up to this episode.
Thank you.
We would be remiss, as always, if we did not bring up our sponsor, Manscaped. Manscaped.com.
I need to have an next thing. Damn.
I got it right here, man. I got you, Alex. Look, Manscaped, this product right here, I just want to talk about this one. This one is called the Crop Preserver. The Crop Preserver. So it's really good for basically all use cases. Say you go to the gym, right? Say you are you work in an office. You're sitting in meetings for hours on end, right? Say you work outside, that sort of thing. And it's really hot right now.
And this weather.
Oh my goodness. In this weather, it's hot in my room. I have to have my fan on full blast right now. Guys, fellas, 98% of the people who watch this show, I think, or something like that, are guys. Something like that, right? Football fans, Ravens fans. I know you guys are experiencing the same sort of struggles that guys like me, guys like, who go to the gym, guys like who are sitting in offices all day are going through. So listen, make sure you go to manscaped.com and pick up the Crop Preserver, man, because you rub a little bit of that on, on the down south of the border, you're going to be good to go for the day, man. You're going to be good to go for the day. So make sure you go on manscaped.com, use the code PRP to save 20% off of your Manscaped order. One more thing from Manscaped that I really, really do like is their little traveling bag. I don't know if did you see the traveling bag thing?
Of course.
That is clutch. I was traveling most recently, and I put all my stuff in there, and I just kind of threw it in a bigger bag, and I was like, that was really convenient. Shout out to Manscaped for that.
I'll be traveling actually in 2 weeks, but bringing up Manscaped, I'm gonna get into it real quick because I know it's not Ravens, but did you watch the UFC Long Island on Saturday by any chance?
I did see it. No, yeah, I did see it. Yeah.
I don't know. It was the one fight where bro was just bloodied. The comeback, that was insanity. We were watching that right before we went to the Arsenal game, and that was a hell of a way to start off my Saturday.
Yeah, so that was Matt Schnell versus Soooo Darji. Yeah, and Soooo Darji was just putting it on him for just crushing him really.
Yeah,
and then Matt Schnell he comes back, and just He beats him up, and man, that it takes him down, submits him. It was crazy, bro.
I didn't know if he was still living. You know, like he just was. It was bad. That was terrible.
It was
but,
bad.
What a fight that was. What a fight.
Yeah.
I just want to get out of the way.
It was a great fight. It was a great fight. Good fights coming up this weekend too. Tom Aspinall versus Curtis Blaydes. Make sure you guys tune into that one. UFC Fight Night on Saturday night. All right. So, without any further ado, thank you, boss. That's code PRP from Manscaped.com. As always, we are going to go ahead and get into the Purple Rain report for this episode of the Purple Rain podcast. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain podcast, like you see there. Purple Rain podcast. Purple Rain Report, sponsored by Manscaped. Look, first things first. Lamar reports to training camp.
Yes.
Man, QB Lamar Jackson reports to facility ahead of training camp. So, like Tanja Bowman put in the chat earlier, I think that training camp doesn't start until next week. I think she was saying something about how, people were supposed to be reporting early, or quarterbacks were supposed to be reporting early. Not sure whether or not that's, absolutely true. I haven't really heard that from the Ravens or anybody like Jefferson Reedback or anything like that. They just kind of said he showed up, and I guess he's early, but it's good to know that he showed up, and it kind of like silences all of what would be the narrative today if he didn't show up, So what were you thinking about this?
I don't want to spend too much time on our quarterback because that's kind of what everybody's doing. But I found it funny that I think Pro Football Talk said, is Lamar... He's not holding out, but is he possibly holding in? Holding in. With all due respect, I never heard somebody say something so outrageous in my life. Holding in. When have we ever heard of that? A player holding in. I'm like, just let it go. Let it go. He's there. He saved you a story from being typed
I mean,
up.
what do they say that means though? Holding in.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, wow, he showed up for training camp. That's really showing the team that he doesn't want to be. That just made zero sense. But it's a great sign because if he didn't show up, we'd be talking about some crazy things right now. It's probably some trade scenarios going down already. Somebody would have fired up the old, I'll give him this, and this for Lamar. It's insane, but I'm happy he's there. And just it was very interesting timing when the video dropped, because it dropped 10 minutes ago, 10 minutes after Kyler Murray got his extension, and we'll get into that too. But him showing up, obviously a good sign.
Yeah, definitely a great sign, man. And I don't know if you guys saw the little video of him walking into the facility that the Ravens posted on their Instagram. Oh, yeah. Lamar, he's looking like a big boy. He's looking like a big boy right now, man. Yes. One thing I noticed is Lamar, his neck, the neck. Okay. That, I mean, it's always been kind of on the thicker side, and I'll say that it's kind of always been but right now it's looking real strong. It's looking real diesel. You know what I mean? And I think that is one of the reasons why, and I think I heard somebody say this recently. That is one of the reasons why he's not as prone to injury when he takes hits. Because we've seen Lamar. If you're a Ravens fan, you've seen Lamar take his fair share of hits at this point. But none of the hits that he takes seem to really rattle him. He always really just pops back up, and just goes back to the huddle, that sort of thing. And I think it's because of his physical build is something that we really don't talk about enough. People always say oh, Josh Allen's a bigger quarterback, that's why he can run and take hits, and nobody even say anything about that. But then they say Lamar Jackson, he's a smaller man. But no, if you actually look at Lamar Jackson, he's got some size on him.
Very much so. Very much so.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been working out throughout the offseason. We saw that. So I actually just put up the holding in. TJ Watt did it last year. And how he got the Marcus in contract. He literally this is just, I think it's blasphemy. He literally steps foot in there and they are saying, oh, is he gonna do this? They're trying to it, just stuff like that. It kind of irks me, and it shouldn't. Why do you care what he does? He's gonna get paid no matter what. Shut that up. Literally that simple. Simple, man.
Literally. I mean, but listen, man, it's July, right? Yeah. And July is National Slander the Ravens month, or Slander Lamar month.
Oh my God, have you seen some of these top 10s?
Look at it. I mean, you can look around all national, major media, sports media right now. All of them are discounting the Ravens. It's I love it. I love it. And there's a trend, Alex. I think that because we always say it's a what have you done for me lately league, right? Right after the draft happened, people were high on us. You know,
great draft.
Right,
A+ draft.
A++ draft. The Ravens, they're really, they're doing their thing. That's what they were saying, right? But now that the season is about to start and the draft is, a couple months behind us, we're not really hearing that same sort of like praise, which is fine. I love it. I love that's how it goes. I love that that's the way that it goes for our team because like we go into the season with like a chip on our shoulder. Lamar does as well, and you can tell. And not just Lamar, there's other players who clearly feel like they have a chip on their shoulder as well, and we'll get into that later too.
Oh yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah, for sure. But let's see what you guys are saying here about Lamar reporting to training camp. About 60 people watching live right now. Thank you guys so much. Like the video, also subscribe.
Yeah, 27. Let's get to 30 real quick. Let's get to 30. Just real quick. 3 more likes.
Absolutely. Let's see. Black Daniel says Lamar is not small. Prior to he was not small. Yeah, was never small. Let me see. Black Daniel says top 10 are top 10s are garbage. Yeah, you're right. Speaking of top 10s, Alex, can I divert to something real quick?
Okay.
I know that the Madden ratings came out this week.
Yeah, they did.
And like of course, our Ravens players aren't really going to be in, the top 5, top 10 of most of these lists. But, of course, we do have one of the best tight ends in the league. I think tight end Mark Andrews, he was ranked, 80? No, he was ranked, a 90-something? It was like a 93?
Yeah.
Or 91?
Yeah, something around there. That wasn't even what I was even going to get to. Keep going.
I don't know, man. I was kind of upset about the Madden rating for Mark Andrews. I feel like people are discounting him because you look at what he did last season. Like I think he led the league in reception yards for a tight end. Also led the league in catches for a tight end, right? I'm not sure about touchdowns, but
fourth. But he was ranked 4th best by coaches, like general front office people.
Yeah, and again, if we're talking like what have you done for me lately? Mark
Don't get more recent than Money Mark.
Exactly. It doesn't get any more recent than Mark Andrews, like my guy Alex just said. So, I mean, I really don't understand how you can still rank him below, George Kittle is rated above him, right? I could be wrong. What did George Kittle do last season in comparison to Mark Andrews? I would love to see, a comparison of stats. If we could just...
Mark definitely had a better season. I would stand by that. And Justin Tucker is a 99. How he's not a 99, I don't remember.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, Tucker's been getting. I might also dive right into the ESPYs last night. I saw I think it was Jonathan Washington how, Trey Mancini didn't win it was an award for the best comeback. Klay Thompson won it, bro. Trey Mancini literally beat cancer during a pandemic, and he didn't win it. And then for I think the best sports moment, Justin Tucker didn't win his record-breaking field goal, but Megan Rapinoe won it for some goal she scored. Bro, nobody has ever hit a 66-yard field goal. I don't I just don't get it.
You're right.
I'm just
dang, that's a good argument though.
There's been Tucker disrespect, man. I was like, damn, he's undisputed.
You love soccer.
Yeah.
Right.
That's coming from me.
What
Tucker did, I think, was more impressive.
But Megan Rapinoe, what team was she on when she scored this goal?
It was club. It was a goal from a corner, which has been done.
Oh, really?
I've been at the field and I've seen people bend it in from the corner.
Oh, really? She from a corner kick?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that is impressive.
It's been done before, not a lot.
Oh, you said it has. Oh, okay.
It's been done before, but I still think the 66-yarder is a lot more impressive.
I try to do that on FIFA all the time. It never works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scoring free kicks is hard in FIFA. I'll tell you that. Very hard.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, let's go ahead and get back to what we were talking about here. Let's see what you guys are saying in here. I see Lisa. Lisa is in the chat. Happy belated birthday to Lisa. Thank you so much for pulling up. Says LJ is a special quarterback, and if anyone doesn't like him, that's just too bad.
Talk about it.
I mean, absolutely right about that. Okay. I think we've talked enough about our quarterback in terms of him coming to training camp. Let's talk about something a little bit different. Something that happened today.
Okay.
Right?
Uh-huh.
News dropped today
Oh,
that the Cardinals are giving Kyler Murray a 5-year, $230.5 million deal that
Money
includes $160 million guaranteed per
Money
source.
Murray.
That would make Murray the second highest paid quarterback on average at $46.1 million per year. Wow.
Wow. Bag alert.
Major bag alert, for sure. Major bag alert. And then to the right here, you can see the graphic is Lamar Jackson just updated his profile picture again on Instagram. This I kind of found funny, me personally, myself.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
It's the blank.
It's
the
username
no
number
picture.
8. Username number 8, right? That's what it basically is. Honestly, it's like when you make a social media account for the first time, and you just kind of sign in with your email, make your password, right? You get in there, and then you just start searching for stuff. You just start browsing, just start interacting with the content. But the site is telling you, hey, you've got unfinished business, right? You
Yep.
still got to update your profile picture. You still got to update
Step,
your bio.
Step 3 out of 5.
Right, step 3, 4 out of 5. And those are the vibes that Lamar Jackson is giving me here. There's unfinished business. And I think that directly kind of correlates to what we're talking about here on the left side of the screen. Kyler Murray getting paid. Lamar Jackson is kind of, I don't know if it's holding out. I don't know if it's holding in, but he's holding on for sure. I think he's holding on for a big, huge payday. Especially considering what Kyler Murray got here. As you can see, that $230.5 million guaranteed. Unfinished business for Lamar.
Yeah. I mean, that's just a bag for Murray. I mean, I think it's a big season for him now. I mean, you got traded for Hollywood. You got DeAndre Hopkins, who has a 6-game suspension, but is a top 5 receiver when healthy. Top 3, possibly top 2. Who knows? And then also an AJ Green at number 3 receiver, which, come on now, that doesn't hurt. So I think this is a huge year for one Kyler Murray. Getting that bag, that's without an MVP. That's without a playoff win. That's with him not that's with him not playing full seasons. Like, he hasn't played a full 16, 17 games, and I think 2 of those seasons, I believe. I know, definitely not 1. It's a risk. It's a risk.
We're really getting into the thick of this podcast here. Episode 124 of the Purple Rain podcast. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I want to bring up my guy Boz's comment here. It says Kyler does not deserve it. I want to address this because I feel like at this point, so what my guy Alex was just saying, hasn't won a playoff game, has not sniffed an MVP, has gotten hurt pretty much every season, or banged up at least. Kyler doesn't deserve it. I think that the word deserve should be taken out of the vocabulary when we're talking about paying these talented quarterbacks, because now it's really not about who deserves it. It's really not about the accolades. It's shown, it's shown. Kyler Murray is one of the first examples, I would say, is that, you don't have to accomplish too much. As long as you can look special, as long as you can look like you can win games in this league, you can get paid. You're eligible to get paid. Yeah. So it's not necessarily about like what you've done, like have you won a Super Bowl, have you won this many playoff games? No. Have you just impressed some people? Have you impressed us? Have you at least met expectations?
Yep.
That's what it is right there.
In Cleveland.
That's what it is right there. If you've at least met expectations, as long as you're not below it, if you've at least met expectations, then you can get paid. And on a level like this. And I mean, I wouldn't say that Kyler Murray has just met expectations. I think he's exceeded them a little bit, for sure. I can't say a whole lot of it because I really haven't seen too much of him in the postseason.
Yeah,
I really haven't seen too much of him healthy in the latter part of the regular season either. So I really don't think that quarterbacks have to deserve it these days. But what do you think about that?
I think I'm going to play devil's advocate. As for the Cardinals, I think a huge problem of theirs is Cliff Kingsbury. I saw a really cool graphic that even with Texas Tech, he starts off pretty good, and as the season goes on, his teams start to fall off.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think he's probably gonna go. I think if they don't win a playoff game this year, I think he's gonna be on the hot seat. I really do. Yeah. I think it's a fair assessment to make. I think they've surrounded the offense with talent, enough talent, I think, to at least win a damn playoff game. Right. I know they lost to the Rams, but come on, we knew the game was over by the first half. last year,
Yeah.
that Monday night game. It was terrible. But this is just a lot of pressure, I think, put on Kyler. I saw them last year, got blown out by the Lions.
I mean,
Like,
but is it more pressure on Kyler or is it more pressure on Cliff?
I think it's on both. I think because he got paid. It's like, what's your excuse now? It's like, it's got the bag. You got your boy you got Hollywood. You got your boy from Oklahoma who you have that connection with. Go out there and do your thing. And as for Cliff, it's like, well, you got this, and this. You're this offensive mastermind. But when the weather gets colder, I know they play in Arizona, but when the weather gets colder, what are you doing? You're freezing up too. Absolutely freezing up. I mean, I think it's a little bit on everything.
You're right. I just think that it's more on Cliff because like the Cardinals, the higher up, the big wigs in the Cardinals franchise, right? The owners, they are basically telling with this move here, paying Kyler Murray this amount of money. They're basically telling Cliff Kingsbury, hey, Kyler's our guy. They're folding their arms.
He'll be here until 2028.
Yeah, Kyler's our guy for the next 5 years. So we expect something, probably a Super Bowl. We're paying him this much money. We expect a Super Bowl out of this guy within the next 5 years. So within the next 1 to 2 years, if you don't bring us close to that, after we've already put him on the hook for all this money, you got to go. We got to try something different during this 5-year deal.
And look at their division they're in.
Yeah,
that's not. And I'm gonna add on to the Cliff Kingsbury.
Sure.
The most memorable thing he's done in Arizona was a picture he took during the draft night. That's the most memorable thing I can think Cliff Kingsbury has done.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really think of anything memorable he's done either, honestly.
Like, with Kyler, the D-Hop, that Hail Mary is what I think of with them, but, like, besides that.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't be surprised if Cliff's out of there soon. That's... Wow. But they got to make the playoffs 100% this year. So, it'll be interesting to see them. I think they will, but... Because NFC is pretty weak.
Oh, yeah.
Compared to the AFC. So, they should make it. They should make it. Wow.
Let's see. Black Daniel says here, I will say they have tried to get Kyler Murray the tools he needs, but they still are not over the hump. And yeah, I mean, when you add the talent, when you have a Kyler Murray and you have a DeAndre Hopkins and you revive the career of a James Conner, you do things like that, you have to put up wins on the board, especially later in the season. Like early season wins they're not I'm not going to say they're not that important. Because they are. All wins are important in the regular season. But look at teams like the Patriots over the last 2 decades. Bill Belichick was not valuing wins in August and September nearly as much as he was in December and January.
That sounds like that doesn't sound like a head coach I know of. We value them wins in August. Them preseason wins, baby. We value them.
Oh yeah, we do.
Even if it means our starting running back gets hurt.
We do. But yeah, man. Yeah. Let's see. So let's just talk about, Alex. What does this mean for Lamar Jackson in terms of what's possible now? What's on the table? Because if you give Kyler Murray a 5-year, $230.5 million extension, what's Lamar eligible for?
I just want you to know the Chiefs look like absolute they're just smart as hell for their contract with Mahomes, by the way. He's
got it out the way early.
Smart by them. Kyler's making more money than Josh Allen. Insanity. But what does this mean? I think this means that Lamar is probably going to get, wouldn't surprise me, a 5-year, 260. Could be 270. 250, the absolute minimum. I mean, we're probably talking 200 million guaranteed, possibly 180 million guaranteed. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot. And to all those people saying he's making the wrong choice, this and that, it just is helping him even more. Raising him more and more by every single contract being given out. Insanity.
Yeah. Let's see, Devon Johnson here making a prediction, says Lamar is getting $48 million a year minimum, $250 million. That wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. But at the same time, I think it all depends on when that deal gets done. If it gets done between now and the time the season starts, yeah, I could see 200 and maybe 240. I could see that. Because, I mean, you have to Lamar Jackson, if I'm Lamar Jackson, I feel like if Alex was Lamar Jackson, I feel like if any of you were Lamar Jackson, knowing how much Kyler Murray just made, I'm not taking anything less than that, man. And I know that he's saying, he's not worried about other guys getting paid, yada, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, that's how how the market is set up. You kind of look around. You kind of look around and see what else is going on. That's how you figure out the price. But
I was looking at the Ravens cap. We have like 760,000 left.
Yeah, not a lot.
This is gonna sound very bad, but we have that left. With receivers who are probably making, how much is Bateman making?
Not a lot.
Probably 4 to 5 mil. That's the most a receiver's making.
Yeah.
This offense is definitely like left in the 1990s, 100%. I mean, I look at what the Cardinals are going to be paying their receivers next year when they give Hollywood a contract eventually. Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah. Oh man.
So I mean, and it's really like a double-edged sword, right? Because you say like we're kind of behind the curve in that sense. And everybody knows, like, the Ravens, whenever, everybody loves to say this, whenever the rest of the league is zigging, the Ravens are zagging, they're just doing something different. But it works a lot of the time, but then it doesn't work in the times where we need it most. And that's kind of like where the double-edged sword is, because it gets us to the dance, but once we get there, it's like it's not working anymore. The swag that got us to the dance isn't working.
And Devon, he had a great comment. He said, talking about Cliff Kingsbury, he said there's more pressure on Cliff. The coaches are out first. And C Stackhouse says Greg Roman excluded. And that is absolute facts. Absolute facts. Usually the coaches are, even coordinators. Coordinators are even like on a shorter leash.
Yeah.
We've talked about that this year.
There's some sort of weird loyalty going on to our guy Greg Roman. But
Country Club. That's the Country Club, man.
Yeah, that's something that we've definitely talked about on this podcast before as well. But man,
sitting there, lemonade's probably spiked, little umbrella on there, sitting back, kicking.
Probably spiked.
Yeah,
that's funny. Let's see. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying here in the chat. Adit Mahmoud bringing up the whole agent situation says, unlike the other quarterbacks, Lamar does not have to pay 3 to 5% annually to an agent. If he gets $45.5 million annually, he is the highest annually paid quarterback. That is true. That is true, technically. Yes. Yeah. Let's see. Jonathan Washington Jr. says, why should Lamar take a discount to give the Ravens more money to do the same thing they've been doing, not surrounding him with talent? Yeah, I mean, yeah, go ahead, Alex.
I'm going to try to put on my best Baltimore accent, all right? Joe Flacco didn't take no discount, hun. If you know, you know. Yeah, he shouldn't take a discount at all. Like, no, I don't get that. It's not going to happen. So.
Yeah, definitely not. Let's see. Lisa says, will LJ hold out for a better price? I think, like I said, I think there's unfinished business. Like you guys see in his profile picture here. It's unfinished business. He needs to update it to something him, And I think he still wants to win that Super Bowl. He's chasing it. I mean, we remember when he got drafted, he said, they're going to get a Super Bowl out of me. I feel like he still believes that. I still believe it, So if that's what he's holding out for, so be it. Joe Flacco did the same thing, and look how it worked out for him. Got one of them rings.
What, 5 year, 6 year, 120?
Yeah.
No discount.
Yeah. Exactly. But I'm thinking around like probably the $250 million range. If it happens, I would like next off season. If it happens next off season, it's gonna be insane.
Yeah.
It's gonna be insane.
Get them brink trucks.
Oh yeah, back it up.
Back them up. Go on to one winning drive. Gate that off on police security. Back them up and dump them.
I would say if the Ravens were to win the Super Bowl and Lamar Jackson was not signed to a contract extension, they would have to sign him the same night that the Super Bowl ends. They would have to sign him that same exact day. They could not wait a day later.
Cigar in mouth, by the way.
Exactly. They would have to pay him right then and there.
I want the Super Bowl trophy, and I want the MVP when he's whipping in the MVP card that all Super Bowl MVPs get. I want that. I want him to have some of Bashadi's beach house front. I want some of that. I want his restaurant in M&T Bank Stadium. All right, that's gonna be there.
Play action soul food.
Exactly. What else do we have? His Oakley's that he's part of. I want an Oakley store in M&T Bank where you can buy his. I'm kind of running out of ideas now. But yeah, if that happens, hell yeah, 100%.
Yeah, my guy King here says, I don't think Lamar wants to sign this year. He knows the cap is about to rise, and he's finna break the bank. All puns intended. I mean, I agree, man. And like I was saying, if the Ravens, hypothetically speaking, hopefully speaking here, if the Ravens were to win the Super Bowl, they would have to sign him that very night. Because who's to say that, if the cap is going up like it's supposed to, who's to say that the day after the Super Bowl, the Chargers don't come out and sign Justin Herbert to a massive deal? Yeah. Let's say Justin Herbert and the Chargers make the AFC Championship game, right? And he's just balling out. He was balling out all year. They're gonna have to sign him to a huge deal, and the Ravens want to get out ahead of that because they don't want to have to top whatever the Chargers pay Justin Herbert.
And the Chargers are good. They run their team pretty damn well. You've seen what they've done under Herbert's rookie contract. Made some big signings. So yeah.
Honestly, I think it may come during the season. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't think it will. I think it's probably gonna be. I think it's after. I think it's
after.
Yeah. It'll be after.
What if we start off like 10-0? 10-0?
It'll be after.
Beat the Bills.
I think it'll be after. I mean, that'd be cool.
Bengals.
But because we do tend to make the what is it called? The extensions. I mean, I know the Peters extension was in 2019 when we got him. I mean, it definitely could happen, but I still think it's going to be after, 100%. Hey, but I wouldn't be complaining.
Right, exactly. Let's see, we got a guy, Josh Hoffman, in the building. Says, hey, I made a stream. Long time no see, my friends. What's going on, Josh? Appreciate you for pulling up. Let's see. C Stackhouse says, Era 8 apparel for sale at the bank and in fat boy sizes too.
Throw it in there. Yep. I want the Area Apparel store in there, next to the plate action soul food. Next to it. Yeah.
They definitely should. Shout out to Devon Johnson bringing that up as well. Let me see. Yeah, next time I go down to because it's in Florida, right? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have to check out that spot. Yeah, for sure. But okay, I think we've talked about Lamar and Kyler Murray's contract extension enough. We're going to go ahead and transition to our next topic of this episode 124 of the Purple Rain podcast. Almost 90 people watching live right now. Thank you guys so much for coming through, pulling up to this episode. Make sure you like this video. Come on, guys. Like the video.
51? Let's get to 60.
Come on, guys. We would appreciate it. Also, subscribe to the channel if you are new and follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain podcast, like you see up top. Okay. So next, guys, look, J.K. Dobbins, most recently this week, coming out, breaking his silence on his injury in a very stern way, just kind of like my guy and your guy, Pat McAfee, said on his show, dunking on Ian Rappaport, man, just straight dunking on him. By the way, if you guys didn't see the clip of them telling Ian Rappaport what J.K. Dobbins said in response to him live, like on the show, you guys need to go watch it because it is great. It is hilarious. Yeah, that's all I'll say about that.
Yeah,
but
don't spoil it.
Yeah, exactly. Ian Rappaport basically came out on, I want to say it was Monday. Yeah, I think it was Monday. Came out on Monday and said that basically the Ravens don't know if J.K. Dobbins will be ready, that sort of thing. He might start the season on the PUP list. That's, all that stuff. So J.K. Dobbins took to Twitter and he said the following, like you guys can read along on the screen as well. It says, okay, I'm tired of being quiet. Come to me for your source, Ian Rappaport, because I might not even go on the physically unable to perform list because that's how good my rehab is going. And I'm damn sure going to be ready for week 1.
Damn sure. Damn sure.
Look, man.
JK doesn't post that much. JK is very quiet.
He really doesn't.
Himself.
Yeah.
He isn't quiet on the side. Like you can tell he's like a funny guy on the sideline, but like on social media, he is quiet. So seeing this, it's kind of surprising me. I'm not gonna lie.
And that's how you can really tell a guy loves football, right? When he doesn't need to be on social media all the time,
Marcus
whatever.
Peters.
But when he's on that field though, you can tell he's all into it. He's all about it. That's how you know a guy's all about football. But yeah, just him saying that he's ready to go for week 1. Not that he's ready right now, but saying that he's damn sure he knows he's going to be ready for week 1. That's huge news for Ravens fans. Because J.K. Dobbins he was supposed to be the key to the offense last season. Kind of like the threat of hey, is Lamar Jackson gonna run the ball this play, or are they gonna hand it off to that talented tailback J.K. Dobbins as well? Because we saw what he did in his rookie season, breaking off big runs, just doing it all. Go ahead.
Real quick. But instead, we had Le'Veon Bell, who's going to be fighting. I think next.
Yeah, he's got a bout coming up. He's got a bout coming
Adrian
up.
Peterson. Yeah. He's looking for a sponsor, so I'd be happy if Purple
Against
Rain wants
who?
to sponsor him. Adrian Peterson. Can we sponsor Le'Veon Bell? Let's do it.
No.
Let's get Purple Rain on his.
Le'Veon Bell is fighting Adrian Peterson.
You didn't know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's AP. 100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh man. I mean, I feel like we talked about this last year on the show, man. There were a couple games last season where Le'Veon Bell, he would have some runs, maybe a good run or two. Maybe he broke into the end zone the once or twice times that he did last year. And then he would like start shadow boxing in the end zone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then I see like on the Ravens media, like he's like shadow boxing and whatnot. His own personal Instagram, he's doing it. Like, I'm like, does he want to be a boxer?
And there you
So
go.
I mean, I heard he had a fight. I just didn't know it was against Adrian Peterson. What is Adrian Peterson?
Yeah,
is that his new gig?
I guess it is. I mean, he's played for damn near every team in the NFL. Might as well go and box. I mean, I
guess so.
That's the new thing. That's the after I saw Nate Robinson, good thing they're going against each other because that was.
Yeah. The Jake Paul versus Nate Robinson, that really sparked a whole like new era of
I just don't even watch
entertainment.
any of the Pauls anymore. Like it's just I think he's gonna win. That's how I look at it. I'm like, so why would I even waste my time? I got better things to do.
Right.
But
But back to our guy J.K. Dobbins here.
Yeah. So I had to take a little sidetrack right there because he is looking for sponsors. Like I literally want to be like, yo, like let's Purple Rain, let's sponsor Le'Veon.
Yeah.
I know we don't have the funds for it, but it'd be pretty funny if we could have.
That would be cool, right? But J.K. Dobbins went on to say, just know I've been working. I've been quiet for a reason. I thrive best when I face adversity. Go check my resume. Hey.
Check it. There you go.
Check it. Speaking for himself right there, man. I mean, I love it. Honestly. Like, again, I'll double down on it. I really want to see J.K. Dobbins featured heavily in this offense this season. I mean, we know that Greg Roman, he's going to have the runs dialed up, all day long, all season long, right? So I'm just really, really hoping. I'm excited to see what J.K. Dobbins can bring to the field. I mean, of course, we were waiting to see what he could do last year. Of course, he got injured, but this year I'm really excited to see what he can do. I'm really excited. One thing I really love most about J.K. Dobbins, and I'll say this, is his balance. I love his balance, man.
It's insane.
Like, it is insane. If you watch any J.K. Dobbins tape, highlights, things like that, when you see him take a clean hit, like up high, like clean hit, either in the midsection on the legs, he always stays on his feet. It takes like multiple guys or multiple hits to really like break his balance and take him down. That goes to show our guy J.K. Dobbins, guess what? He never misses a leg day. You know how strong your legs have to be to not get your base knocked off by like these grown at linebackers, these DBs
going through
like
defensive linemen.
Exactly. Like it's shout out to J.K. Dobbins, man. And this news it makes me happy. It makes me happy because we're getting a special guy back. I definitely believe that.
I was looking forward to seeing him in the passing game as well. I mean, I know he was working on his hands. They were raving about him in training camp last year, how he was getting better in the passing game, catching balls out the backfield. So let's just hope that all goes just silent. In this training camp, we get to see it on field week 1 against the Jets because I don't even want to watch preseason at all. I really don't even want to watch it. I'm scarred from last year, actually. Scarred.
Yeah.
LJ Ford going down, JK, Gus and Peters and Pride. I'm scarred.
Oh my God. It was
like
bad.
I'm genuinely scarred. Like PTSD.
Honestly, last year it was almost as if like the football gods were like, "Hey, who do we want to win the Super Bowl this season?
Yeah,
we want Matthew Stafford in the Rams. We feel like Matthew Stafford. He's been good for a long time. He deserves a ring right now. What teams would threaten him the most? Oh, the Ravens. Let's make sure 4 or 5 of their key players go down within 1 to 2 weeks. They just make it obvious, like right in our face.
I mean, even the Niners a couple years ago went through it, and they made the Super Bowl next year.
They
So
tried to take us out before we even had a chance, Alex. You know what's crazy? We got to 8-3. Week 10, we were number 1 in the AFC, and the football god said, "Oh, the Ravens are still good. We took out a couple of. They're still good. Now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take out Lamar for the season."
that,
And then that crushed it. I was like, oh, yep, that did it. Rams going to win the
Yeah.
Super Bowl. And hey, look, even without Lamar, still almost beat the Rams in the regular season. I know you guys remember that game. I do.
Yeah.
I do. Only a couple plays away. Oh man.
Chuck Clark interception.
Yeah. Yeah.
Garnett
I'm just making fun,
called them
guys, too, just to
I
make sure
seen him in
you
the
guys
chat.
know.
Garnett's here. He called Chuck Clark having to pick that game too. That was insane.
Yeah, had that pick 6. That was elite.
Then he had to pick out punch in the rear end by Odell. What a weird play.
I do remember
weird
that.
play.
I do remember that. Yeah, very weird indeed. All right. So I think that's going to wrap up our Purple Rain report brought to you by Manscaped. Now we're going to go ahead and get into our Rain Gang questions segment to go ahead and wrap up this episode of the Purple Rain podcast, episode 124. Thank you guys so much for joining. Like the video, subscribe if you are new. All right, let's see what you guys are saying in here. Question segment, you can drop them down below. If you're part of the hashtag Replay Gang, thank you guys so much for joining. You can drop your questions down below in the comments section. We will get to those as well. Let's go ahead and kick it off here with Thomas Morgan. Says J.K. Dobbins, comeback player of the year? It's possible, man.
I think it is possible. I think I'm going to throw in my bid. Non-Ravens player, I think Michael Thomas is going to have a great year. I know he's coming back, but a lot of Ravens can fit the mold of comeback player of the year. But I definitely think one of our Ravens will be up there for the debate. Definitely will be up there.
This is a good question. Like when you ask like who could be comeback player of the year. I mean, Michael Thomas is a good one. I mean, I could definitely see Michael Thomas being Jameis Winston's security blanket for sure on offense. But J.K. Dobbins, with the amount of run plays that we do, and just kind of like the schemes that we run with Greg Roman, I could see J.K. Dobbins being a heavy part of this offense, which means that he'll have more opportunities to make an impression, you know. So with that being said, I feel like J.K. Dobbins, he could make a strong case for it as well. So it's a good question, Thomas. It really is.
My only
Michael
thing is that
Thomas,
him
I
and
think, is a
Gus.
good guess.
Him and Gus, I think if he was the main back, and who knows what he'll look like after the ACL, because they say some players don't look the same. Who knows? But I think personally, I think Marcus Peters has a better chance to comeback player of the year over J.K. Dobbins. That's just my opinion. If J.K. was the lead back, I could definitely see that, but it's gonna be hard with him and Gus together. But hey,
Definitely.
as long as we win games, I really could care less.
Exactly. Let's see. Jonathan Washington Jr. here saying, do Ravens make any more key additions before training camp? With our salary cap, I mean, hey, we just need to sign David Ojabo.
Yeah. I just want to bring up one of Jonathan's recent comments. He said, LJ Ford is one guy from last year's team he wished we could have brought back, and I'm actually right there with you. I don't know why he's still a free agent, maybe because he got hurt. I feel like he actually can contribute to the linebackers core that we have, especially in special teams, because we've lost a lot of key contributors on special teams, and I know he played a lot of that. Had that fumble week 1 in 2020 against the Browns. But I don't see a receiver coming in. We saw, I think David Sharp got signed today, so more tackle insurance. Looked good when he came in, but with $700,000, I don't think anybody is going to come in before training camp, unless we restructure.
Agreed. Let's see. I got my guy Chike in here. Says, what are your expectations for the Ravens this season?
It's a good
broad question, but a good question. Yeah.
I'm going to take off the purple blinders.
Sure.
For me, expectations, barring any of the I words, I think for me, I would like to make the AFC Championship, 100%. I think it will be a good place of where we know we're at, and who knows if our offensive coordinator is still there. If we make it midseason, a little move like we have before, that expectation could change. But I would like that. I would like to get past the divisional round. Sick of it.
I got you. I'm honestly thinking more of like an 11-5 season. We play a lot of divisional opponents later in the season. I feel like we drop a couple of those games, down the stretch. Then we go into the playoffs with kind of like that chip on our shoulder. Like, teams are kind of counting us out. We're going to go into Super Wild Card Weekend facing whoever. I feel like we win that game. I feel like we win our divisional game as well. And the AFC Championship game is really hard to call, but I think that is the next step. And that is my expectations for the Ravens this season. Hell, it was my expectation last year for the Ravens.
I remember that. Yep.
Like you said, barring that I word. So I'm sticking with that.
I think it's a fair assessment to see where we're at altogether, not players, but coaching-wise as well. I mean, I think when you look at what we've done, the acquisitions we've got in the draft we had, the way that we kind of talked it up, hell yeah, I think we can definitely make it as long as everything goes to plan. And if we don't, we can look at that and see what happens, make further adjustments. But, yeah.
You're right. Jonathan here asking Odafe Owe 10 sack season.
Indeed. I think so.
I'm thinking more. I'm gonna say 7. I'm gonna go 7 sacks for Owe, because I think it might be spread out a little bit more. Tyus Bowser just is coming off a 7 sack season. Ojabo, once he gets back, I feel like he's gonna be in the rotation. Dalen Hayes, we still don't know what he can offer in the regular season largely. So I think it's gonna be a little bit more spread out the numbers, but I can see Odafe Owe leading the way with 7 for sure. I don't know about 10.
The Owe 10 for me is the Mark Andrews top 2, not 2 for you last year. I'm going to stick by it. I'm going to stamp it. I'm sticking by it. I cannot be taken away from it, unfortunately.
Okay. Gotcha.
I don't know why I feel like he had Aiden Hutchinson and Michigan, Mike McDonald, that is. And that's his guy. I think he's going to be on the field as much as he can. I think we'll see Bowser. He'll still rush the quarterback, but it's going to be hard for Owe to come off the field. So more snaps, more sacks. And Justin Houston, too. I keep forgetting that he's back.
Oh,
damn.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
if he gets it, that really shows what type of player he is. So I just want to stamp it.
Yeah. If he gets 10 sacks, then,
we may finally found some damn pass rush. All right.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'll say this. If Odafe Owe gets 10 sacks in the regular season, I'd say that we are not a wild card team. I feel like we would lead the AFC. Because you look at the only thing that's really been missing from our team, our defense, is a pass rush. Getting after the quarterback, getting the quarterback down, getting those sort of negative plays on defense, or for the offense rather. We've been lacking that. We've been lacking that a lot, those big time plays. So if we can get that back, we can get 10 sack seasons from guys like Odafe Owe. Oh my God, we'll be straight. We'll be straight.
Like you said, you top 10 maybe in sacks. I mean, because getting that pressure can lead to mistakes from the quarterback, and that leads to turnovers.
Right.
Need that.
Let's see. The April 123 says, "Will Gus and Peters be ready by week 1?" I'm not sure.
We haven't heard anything about it.
We have not.
I'm gonna say the less news, the better. That's how I'm gonna look at it.
Fair enough. Let's see. Devon Johnson says, "Does Greg Roman survive the entire year?"
I love how you said Gregory
Roman.
Yeah. Does he? I think he does, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's hard to say, man. It's hard to say. If we go into the season healthy, and I'd say 6 games down the road, if we are 3-3, the offense is really the reason why we're not getting over the hump. The conversation has to be had. Because, listen, this is the last year we got before we got to pay Lamar Jackson big boatloads of cash. So we got to make something shake now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they might move him.
They could.
It's possible.
You're right. It really does depend.
Yeah. Let's see what else we have in here from you guys.
I'm thinking about it right now. I really am. Because I'm thinking about the first couple of games. I think that Bills game's going to be... We'll find out about the Ravens that game. We'll find out what team we're dealing with.
Yeah. Because they're going to put up points. We have a good defense, but they're going to put up points. They're going to put up at least 30,
I think they're the favorite in the AFC, honestly. They're my bet to make it from the AFC.
Oh, yeah, I mean, everybody loves the Bills. That's, the best.
Because their fans jump through tables, this and that. Woo!
Yeah, I mean...
Josh Allen jumps over a guy. Oh, my gosh.
Everyone loves Josh
Lamar
Allen.
was doing that at Louisville, but... whatever.
They love Josh Allen. Josh Allen's really good. He's really good.
He is. He's a baller.
Yeah, for sure.
He's a baller.
Jay says, what are you guys' expectations for James Prochet this year?
Let's take off the blinders. Let's take them off. What are you thinking? I'll let you go first.
I'm thinking not a lot of production. And the reason why I'm thinking that is because when you look at the Ravens offense, you kind of got to look at it like a totem pole.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever is higher on the totem pole is going to have more opportunities. Now think about all the players on the Ravens offense: Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, J.K. Dobbins, Rashad Bateman, Gus Edwards, all these guys, right? Guys like Nick Boyle, even, you know, all these guys are higher on the totem pole, or the Ravens, at least they value them higher than the James Prochet.
We've talked about this.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you have high expectations for James Prochet, I would say curb those expectations just a little bit, because I feel like he's just not going to get as much burn as we would like him to get.
Yeah. I see Garnett. I was going to make a comparison. You say he's going to have Willie Snead type numbers. I'm actually going to go Seth Roberts type numbers. So Seth Roberts had 21 receptions, 271 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I'm thinking 30 receptions, 350, and probably 3 or 4 touchdowns. Just being realistic.
Okay.
That's a pretty good season, I think, for him. But I don't even know what we're doing with Tylan Wallace, who I think is very talented. I think you think he's very talented. Don't know what's going on with that, like, at all. I think he's earned himself some snaps, so we'll see.
Let's see. Tanja here says, question, this might sound crazy, but do you think the Ravens' refusal to get Lamar a top receiver was to limit his money because media fans and players, if Lamar had that, he would have gotten a Super Bowl? No, I don't think that's the reason.
I don't think so. I would hope
not. I would hope not, because, I mean, the whole goal is to win Super Bowls. You know, everybody's goal. The owner, from the owner all the way down to the janitors there that are fans of the team. Like, they all want the team to win a Super Bowl. So that's like the common goal. So I don't think that they would sabotage that, for themselves.
So you mentioned the totem pole thing. Do you want to just run by that real quick? Like make our own totem pole of the Ravens offense real quick?
Sure. Yeah, we can do that before we go. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So I think it's pretty clear. We start number 1, Lamar Jackson.
100%. Yeah. Number 2, fair to say J.K. Dobbins or Mark Andrews. It's one of those two for me.
I say Andrews. Yeah.
I'm cool with that,
because without Andrews, you got to think, like, the Ravens offense, even the run game wouldn't be as potent without Mark Andrews.
With the blocking, yeah.
Exactly. So, yeah, I would say Mark Andrews number 2.
I go J.K. Dobbins number 3.
Okay. Dobbins number 3, yeah, I can get behind that for sure. Number 4.
I think this is where you could put. I think you could make a case for Bateman at 4. You could.
You could make a case. We want him to be 4. We want Bateman.
That is true.
To be right there.
That is true.
But who's actually there right now?
Patrick Ricard. I'm kidding. Jokes. I'm kidding.
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, Pat Ricard, they've manufactured whole touchdown drives around him. I've said it multiple times on the show. They do that. That's a thing. So I think that he deserves to definitely be somewhere on the list.
He's above a couple of receivers. I'm just going to say that. I know that for a fact.
The Ravens style of offense? Yeah, for sure.
See, I don't want to put Dobbins 3, then Gus Edwards 4. But I think you could make that case. I think you could. Because I really want to put a receiver at 4, but it's looking how the offense runs. I don't think that could happen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put Gus at 4. I think.
And it's funny because it's not like that on any other NFL roster.
No. Absolutely not.
Any other NFL roster, the top 3 on the totem pole, there will be a wide receiver in the top 3.
Look at last year's Rams. Where was Cam Akers at? Where was he at?
Couldn't tell you. Yeah. So,
is Bateman going to be 5? Is our first round receiver from last year going to be number 5?
I think it's fair to put Bateman at 5, because you have to look at just basically who's there. The Ravens want Rashad Bateman to be the number 1 guy. Hollywood's not there anymore. If Hollywood was still in the equation, then he would be, he would be somewhere in the mix. That's a good question. If Hollywood was still on the team, do you think he'll be top 3 on the totem pole?
No. Because he wasn't top 3 even when JK was healthy. When JK took over that starting is kind of when Hollywood went on the whole Soldiers thing. He did show out against a couple of teams, but He's top 3 in the playoffs. When them playoffs came around, he was showing the hell up. But in the regular season, no.
Right.
Which is scary to think because he was a 1,000-yard receiver too.
Yeah.
And King, I agree with King. He said Bateman should be right after Andrews. Realistically, he should be. In this NFL, he should be.
Should be. Maybe he will be after the season.
Yeah.
You know, the hope is that we can get Rashad Bateman involved. I want to see him involved early and often this season.
Talk about it.
Like,
come on now.
You have to get this guy incorporated with the offense. Get him some open looks. Draw up plays just for him. Build his confidence early in the season, so that way later in the season he can build upon something. You know, he can have himself a great year in his second season because he missed like the whole first half of his rookie season. I know the guy wants to get out there and play. He wants to get out there and prove himself.
His first 9 catches, a bunch for first downs. That one catch against the Vikings, like Lamar just kind of threw it up to him and he caught it.
Chain mover. I actually just rewatched the highlights from that game like a couple of nights ago, and yeah, I remember that play you're talking about. Yeah. Bateman, he is that dude. He looks like the wide receiver one. He looks like him, yeah, for sure. Will it translate into this season? We will see. We hope so.
Right. So if Bateman's 5, who do you have at 6?
Do we already put Ricard in there?
Nope, Ricard is not in there.
I'm gonna go Ricard then. I'm gonna have to put Ricard. Because, I mean, just what he does in terms of, like, the blocking. He can, if it's 4th and 1, you just want to hand him the football, say, hey, just go get the first down. You can do that. If you want him to catch it out of the flat, he can do that. You know, like, he's a jack of all trades kind of guy. And the Ravens love that. Yeah. So I think that the Ravens would definitely have him at this point or at this spot on the totem pole, if not even higher. So I would put him at this spot. What about you? So, I mean, I can get behind that. I was thinking Isaiah Likely, but since he's a rookie, I'm cool with putting Ricard ahead of him. So 7, I would put Boyle, but Likely looks like he's going to be that guy. And the way he's the praise he's gotten from Greg Roman kind of is making me put him at 7. So we're at 7 right now. We only have 1 receiver. Yeah. And again, no other NFL roster in the league is like that. You know, like it's crazy. 7. Yeah. Like, and let's see. King says Ricard being on this list is disgusting, to be honest.
I don't get it. I don't get it. 7 and 1 receiver.
Yeah. It's bad. It's the hope is that, like I said, man, we can just get the passing game. The passing game did look promising last year. It did. With Hollywood. It
looked so good the first week, man. Hollywood and Sammy were doing the thing. Like, we're gonna get Bateman back.
Yeah.
Man.
It all came crashing down. Yeah. But the good thing is now that we do have a revamped offensive line. So if Lamar Jackson actually has time to throw to guys like Rashad Bateman, Mark Andrews, Prochet, Dobbins out of the backfield, that sort of thing, I think that this season is going to be really good for us on offense. I really do. I really do.
I'm going to stop at 7, I think, because I don't know if I could take much more if I went down.
Yeah, honestly. Me neither.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and just I think we're gonna leave it there for this episode. If you have any more of your totem poles, you want to drop those down below in the comments. Like your top 5, and by totem poles we mean your top 5 to 7 guys on the Ravens offense in terms of like importance. How important are these guys to the Ravens offense? And
not talking about the line. Because if it was the line, I'm putting a lot of these guys up there too.
Oh,
like,
of course.
No line, just like quarterback, running back, receivers, tight ends.
Right, offensive weapons, skill positions, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we're going to go ahead and leave it there for this episode of the Purple Rain Podcast. Thank you guys so much for coming through. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast for updates on Raven stuff and all updates on Purple Rain, when we're going live, that sort of thing. You can also follow my guy SimplyAs10 on Instagram at simplyas10.prod or on Twitter at simplyas10. Just plain and simple. Or like I always say, you can Google him and you'll find his YouTube and some more stuff, man.
Oh, you mean show up?
Mr. Ravens fan.
Yeah, Mr. Ravens fans, all of us right now. Or
the
Little Misses.
Or a Little Miss Ravens fan. Yeah. I love that one too. Let's see. Or you can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at Sutton Def like you see there. Don't forget. You can go on manscaped.com as well. Order yourself the crop preserver. You can order the lawnmower 4.0. Anything you want off of manscaped.com. You can save 20% off of that order with free shipping if you use the free
shipping.
PRP. like you see down
I feel
below.
like I'm doing the Disney Channel thing right now.
I know, right? Yeah, I
Yeah.
was just thinking about that.
Yeah.
All right. And with that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for coming out to this episode. My name is Sutton Def, and I'm going to let my guy Alex take us out.
And a big shout to Balti Raven for dropping the $20 super chat saying later, peeps. Thank you very much.
Making it rain.
We love you. We appreciate you. Yes,
Shout out
making
to
it rain,
you, bro.
And I don't know about you, but I am looking forward to that open practice. Seeing Mike over here, Sutton, for the first time, meeting all you guys. I cannot wait. I'm going to keep on talking about that because it's going to be so much fun.
It is.
And until then, I will see you guys in the next episode of the Purple Rain Podcast. And as always, stay positive, test negative, and
never, ever, ever forget to call God. This has been episode 124 of the Purple Rain Podcast.